Good morning to you. It's well before 8 o'clock and that's the Wonderworks over the road. We're just looking down the south side of International Drive and then we're going to head up to the north side, well not too much the north side, but up as far as Ripley's Believe It or Not Auditorium. Just running along the side there of the Rosen Inn Plaza. That's the place where I'm staying at the moment. So I've just come out of the hotel and just before the heat really starts to set in for the day. There we go, Rosen Inn at Point Orlando. Point Orlando just being over the road there. That's the mini mall. The Regal Cinemas, multiplex cinemas. There's about 20 screens in there, so that's not too small, is it? I do like this particular area, the south side of what I would call Sand Lake Road. Once you come south of Sand Lake Road, International Drive is full of trees and lots of little wonderful paths just like this. The north side is it's just as nice, but in a different sort of way. It's filled with more restaurants, and it's not saying that this isn't filled with restaurants as well. It's just different. That's all. It's diverse. We still have the Rosen Inn on to the left hand side of us. Also looks quite nice at night time as well. I've done some walks here, quite a few at night time. I haven't done any for a little while during the daytime, so this is one for you. Still the side of the Rosen Inn Plaza. It used to be the Quality Inn Plaza at one time. And they have one at Sister Hotel at the top end, just off of Sand Lake Road. And that was the Quality Inn International. The Quality International was known as, I think, was it known as Low Q, and this one was High Q, if I'm not mistaken. Don't tell me why. Helicopter tours, I've been on these. I've been on them once, I should say, and I think it was $19.99, $19.99. It's $25.99, I think. Was it $25? It'll only be a short flight. It'll last you about 5, 6, 7 minutes. It's enough to take off to see the top end of International Drive and Universal Studios and back again. So it's worth bringing Cameron with you if you do decide to do that. But it's well worth it. If you want to go further afield, you pay extra, and that'll take you down to Disney. And they take a lot of fuel, and it's expensive to run one of those. They also have a train running around the perimeter here. You can see the train lines there, and also within the building there, I think there's one of these train scenarios villages in there as well, which keeps going from daytime to night time. Something worth checking out as well. Full of hotels, full of restaurants, full of lots of places along here, and lots of attractions as well. This looks like a bus stop here, doesn't it, with this seating? It's not. This to me is a typical morning walking along International Drive, the early morning that I like, before the rush comes, before everybody goes off to the theme parks. They're sorting themselves out, they can have breakfast. But things are already starting to move already, but there's not a great deal of people around at the moment. Not that I ever noticed too many people on International Drive anyway, which I think is a great thing about it. And I do love this place as well, and I'm sure that other people that have been here also feel the same as well. as I say, I do love these pathways. It's simplistic, but it's just lovely, isn't it? It's like walking through some gigantic park. Actually, it's almost like being some sort of gigantic theme park in itself, isn't it, really? There's was it the Olive Garden? Yeah, I've eaten in there. All nicely themed, all nicely decorated and landscaped, and that's the same as everywhere along here as well. It's a beautiful walk. I wish they had walks like this at home. So here we go. We're just approaching. See that the pink one is the link stop, but it's also sharing the stop with the iRide as well. So that's iRide number 17, just coming up here. They don't always share stops, but most of the time they do. So that's an iRide shelter we're just passing there, complete with bin. Lots of weird objects on the side. Do you notice these strange objects here? That one's a light, the tall skinny one there. So I know they're lights. The other things that I don't know, they seem to be some sort of ventilator. I really don't know what they are. This is the Embassy Suites. That looks a nice hotel, doesn't it? All got large car parks. Everywhere here has got car parks all over the place. No parking on the roads, and it seems to work well. They've got really wide roads, but there's no parking, not here anyway. And there's no need to be. Yeah, that's the Embassy Inn and Suites. In a moment you should be able to see the Starflyer and also the Icon 360 wheel. That will be coming into sight very soon. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what whether it's probably possibly to do with electricity, these boxes here on the side. I'm using a GoPro Hero 7 at the moment, and I've attached a Zoom H2N sound recorder so that I can bring all the stereo out. It will record in stereo on the GoPro, but I'd quite like to add another source on there, sync it up, and then use that one instead. Add a windjammer over the top to cut out any unwanted noise from the wind. Here's another place I've stayed. I've been here quite a few times, the Avanti Resort. I've been here as it was the Avanti Resort, and before that when it was the Best Western, and that was some while ago. It's gone through a few changes and it still looks the same sort of layout, same sort of buildings, just been repainted, been done up. It's got a better swimming pool in there now though. Friendly's, that was here all those many years ago when I first came over, still looking the same, still with its red brick roof. You can see the Castle Inn Suites over the opposite side of the road. You see the turrets there. And just behind that is the Adventure Golf, the Pirates Adventure Golf, just from there onwards. You can just see the turrets from on the other side of the road. It's behind the trees now from the Castle Inn Suites. And of course we can see the Icon 360 now come well into view. That's 420 feet high. 440 feet high, isn't it? No, 420 feet high. I'm getting a bit confused now. It might actually be 400 feet high. I'll make up my mind. It's no less than 400 feet high. So this is Austrian Court down the side here, and that kind of goes round in a horseshoe. Oh look, there's a squirrel there. Oh, you get plenty of squirrels here. They'll come up to you. Birds will come up to you here as well, all sorts. Yeah, thousands and thousands of squirrels, and they're not afraid of you either. Tony Roma's, that was here all those many years ago, so a lot of this hasn't changed too much. Probably been through a few paint jobs and everything, maybe colour schemes just slightly changed. Otherwise, apart from which, all this was here well over 20 years ago. Can't remember if the Taj Mahal was there. Restaurant. The supermarket certainly was. There was a supermarket. Cece's Pizza, I'm sure was. Here we go. We can see the Star Flyer up there, right in the centre. And that wasn't here. That's the newest addition to the iDrive. About 3 years old now. Bargain World, yeah, that was here, and it was linked on to the Ponderosa next door. The Ponderosa is no longer operated. The building's still there, but it's no longer the Ponderosa anymore. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was the first one of the Ponderosas to close down. That's sort of a very similar idea to the Golden Corral buffet restaurant. And one of the first restaurants I went to when I came over here. This was the first one I frequented when I was first here, but it was also the first one to close down. They had about 4 or 5 of them in the Orlando area. And sadly they've all closed down now, so that's sad. But things do change. Again, lots of parking spaces all round. And we come into the edge of the, what I said was the horseshoe, so Austrian Court runs around the back here. And an even better look at the Icon 360 wheel over there. Even landscaped where all the signage is there with flowers and things underneath it. Isn't that great? I think that's wonderful. Now look at this, all these little orangey red flags down here, and I think they denote where there's electric cables running underneath. I think I'm going to guess that they have to do that by law. You start to see them all over the place, or I'm not sure, maybe it's put there when they're trying to fix some. There's a blue one over there as well, blue flag. I'm not sure what that one is. And there's also some markings in the road, which also makes me think that they're in the middle of doing something, because I'm guessing that they're not going to be permanent, the actual markings. There's some blue flags as well as these orange ones, but yeah, I think when you actually read them close up, it says things like electric cable underneath. Caution, so when you've got your gardeners and people coming around, they'll know where to move around. Good idea. See a lot of joggers going on here, dog walkers as well, a few dog walkers, and people just out for strolls, morning evening. I've almost missed out the middle of the day. You do see people stroll along here during the middle parts of the day, and you get more so as well. But I think a lot more people, as the heat starts coming up, prefer to be in a car or a bus or a coach of some sorts. Roadway in. The Allure Resort. There's a Starflyer. We're going to take a look at the Starflyer in a minute. It's not operating at the moment because it's not open just yet. We've got a few hours to go before that opens. But what a beautiful morning. Here we go. This is the Saltgrass restaurant, themed. It looks like it's Wild West themed, doesn't it? It looks nice. And they'll serve just about everything in here. Everything from steaks to fries to chops. What does it say there? Yeah, chops. Seafood, poultry, burgers, craft beer. Yeah, just about everything in there. Lots of heavy theme in there. It's really lovely. Another iRide stop here along the way. They're quite frequent. And there we go. That's an actual iRide trolley over the road there. When I first used the actual iRides, they actually had free tickets to get on there. But when you did pay, was it about 50 cents, 75 cents. But you popped your dollars or whatever, you put your coins into this box, and the guy turned a handle and it pushed all the coins and the dollars down into it. There was a little bit more. They had them running more frequently, and they went up to the old bells with a Z on it, Z factory outlets at the top, and then they terminated and turned around at Seaworld and came all the way back up and down these parts of International Drive. So there were lots of them about. But they decided to spread them round to go along Universal Boulevard and then to go much further down International Drive, down into the South Premium outlets. They still do now. They're not quite as frequent now, so you could be waiting a little bit longer, but they're frequent enough anyway. We get numbers. We got the White Man. We have White Man in the USA, Green Man in the UK, White Man in the US, and a countdown. So you need to be making it out to the other side of the road. So now making my way over to the Starflyer. Here it is, the base of it, and this is about 400 feet anyway. It's quite a nice little area, this. They've been adding to it all the time and landscaping it very well, I must say. So yeah, that's it, to the summit up there, about 400 feet. And you will fly around at 65 miles per hour on this thing, if you like that. And at 400 feet up in the air on these cables. And I'm sure they're very safe. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that wouldn't want to do this, but I've seen enough that do. It's a chairplane idea. You remember the fairground chairplanes? They still have them, and they still have them in the amusement parks as well. There's a version in the Fun Spots, or one of the Fun Spot USAs. Yeah, it looks like it looks like they put extra chains on more than they actually need, which, just in case, a chain's as strong as its weakest link. Hopefully they're all very strong. They look good to me. And there we go, that's your seats. There's a bar there, you pull down over you and it stays in place, and you just swing out 65 mile per hour, can you believe? Watching all that scenery in Orlando below you, well below you. It's probably going to seem like you're even higher than you actually are. If you're scared of heights, you're going to feel like you're 10,000 feet up in the air, I swear. All the surrounding palm trees, that's lovely. That really makes so much difference, doesn't it, to the landscaping. So we're now going to head up to Ripley's. Going to take a shortcut over this car park here. Just as in the UK, they do have lots and lots of disabled parking spots here. I think they call them handicap over here, isn't it? Handicap. Same thing as all those drain covers. They look like drain covers, I'm not sure. Charlie's Steakhouse. That's been here for a very, very long time. Certainly from the first time that I ever came here. Notice the fire hydrants down the sides there, and you'll find those everywhere. To people that come from the USA, that's something they would see, I guess, I assume, all the time. But us in the UK, we don't tend to see that too much. But out here, it's quite commonplace. Another iRide trolley over the road there. I think they start about 7 o'clock in the morning and probably finish somewhere in the region about 11:30 at night. At a price of about $2. This is the Ripley's, believe it or not, auditorium. This strange building that's been built to look like it's gone lopsided. And you stand there and you swear you're standing on a hill. It's a museum filled with all sorts of weird and wonderful artifacts and collections that Robert Ripley has travelled around the world to collect for everybody to see. He used to do a lot of drawings and things. See that clock up there? That's about, because that's, what is that, it's 10 past 8? About 10 past 8. In the morning, of course. I thought I'd point that out because just in case you haven't worked it out. So all the numbers are the wrong way round. And that must be a statue of Robert Ripley right there. So yes, something to do if you're not going to the theme parks. If you want to spend a whole day along International Drive and stay away from the theme parks, a little bit of a quieter day, there's plenty you can do along here. You've got Wonderworks, you've got this, you've got the Icon 360 Park and Madame Tussauds down there, the Sea Life Centre. Not Seaworld, but Sea Life Centre. So yeah, while you're here, do check out Ripley's, believe it or not, museum. That's a Lynx up there. Lynx bus. So yeah, got a bit of bonus footage to show you before I finish for the day. This is Seaworld. So Seaworld is along Sea Harbour Drive, just off of International Drive. And this is just a brief synopsis of what you'll find here. So this is a wonderful little walk round. I will put a link at the end so you can see the full walk round tour of Seaworld. Runs for about 36 minutes.
Have your attention. For your safety, please do not sit on or climb over the fence surrounding Journey to Atlantis. Thank you for your cooperation.
It's like being in a little village, isn't it? It's really beautiful. It's a lovely place to visit. And I love all the gardens and the walkways and the scenery. Yeah, this is more a chilled out park as opposed to the Disney's and the Universal theme parks. But it still packs a punch with all its roller coasters and other rides. As I said, I will put a link at below and also at the end so that you can just click onto that. It will take you on a tour around the park, a walk round tour around the park, where you'll be able to observe places like this.
Great music all the time. You're listening to Walkround Radio. Do you know that 500 million plastic straws are used every day in the U.S.? Well, check it out. Seaworld uses paper straws as part of our ongoing efforts to protect marine life and the world we share. Our mission is to see it here and save it there. From park to
So that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me on my walk from Wonderworks up to Ripley's Believe It or Not Auditorium. Please do subscribe so you're up to date with all my latest. Do comment as well. I'm going to see you all again very soon on YouTube. Cheers. Bye.